All right, chat. We are back, and it is now time to do the Kingdom Hearts thing. Let's go ahead and change our stream info. We are doing... What Kingdom Hearts game should we play? Like, that's the real question. We're gonna play one of them, but the real thing here is that I'm gonna be spending 2 hours until 4 o'clock. So I guess an hour and 45 minutes explaining the deep lore, the hidden lore, as best as I can about Kingdom Hearts. These games are lore rich. So we gotta figure out which one. Continue that Kingdom Hearts 2 file. Okay, I can work with that. It was either gonna be that or like Birth by Sleep. Was what I was thinking. I don't even think we're gonna play with game audio. It's just gonna be on in the corner. The real deal is me explaining what's going on. So that's what we're in for. Let's go ahead and switch us into Kingdom Hearts. Here, we'll just do this. Do that. Boom, we're in. Okay. So as we go to do this, my plan, the plan of what I'm attempting to do is I'm going to lay out the world of Kingdom Hearts, the lore behind the activities, and then try to run us through the plot, right? I'm going to keep this bounded to the Xehanort timeline, right? The Xehanort arc. That's what we're going to do. So to begin with, right, we need to talk about what Kingdom Hearts is, right? This is a beloved series, right? People all over love this series for a variety of different reasons. Now, most of y'all, or a good chunk of y'all, came to me as I was playing this. Particularly Sammy, Blair, Yuki, right? Y'all are all in on this Kingdom Hearts train. I was very unsure of Kingdom Hearts from the beginning. But this game is absolutely charming. It can be a bit exasperating, but it's a good series of games, right? What you need to understand as we start talking about Kingdom Hearts is that there is no singular side games. In fact, there are no side games at all. Everything in Kingdom Hearts is lore. They're all main games. I did not understand this as I began playing Kingdom Hearts. So I didn't know what I was really getting myself into. I thought, oh, Kingdom Hearts 1, 2, 3, I'll bust those off. Oh boy, was ever I so wrong. Now, this world of Kingdom Hearts is particularly in the Xehanort saga, right? The Xehanort timeline. It is a world, a universe, a multiverse. Well, right, that's the hard part. Is it a multiverse or is it a series of interconnected worlds, right? I'm going to treat it as if they are dimensional travelers, right? For me, that actually makes more sense. They're not going through space. They're going through dimensions when they seek to travel. Now, this multiverse that they inhabit is comprised primarily of a fusion of two different media franchises, right? Going back to the 90s, turns out that Disney Interactive and Square Games shared a building, and they would talk to each other in the elevators like, hey, why don't we see if we can't mash up our games? So we see both Final Fantasy and Disney involved in this, but beyond that, there's a whole new layer that gets added on that is just exclusively for Kingdom Hearts. And this Kingdom Hearts lore has become a thing unto itself. Right? It has become its own lore. Now, the Disney stuff and the Final Fantasy stuff are important, but I just want to get it out of the way. The Disney plots, going to all the different Disney worlds, it's the gameplay. It's not the lore. Now, characters from Disney take up important parts in the lore, but they are not necessarily the deep lore. So like, we always end up going to Hercules' world, right? Hercules doesn't inherently play that important of a role in the overall lore here, but he is important to the way that the games play. Now, these games and their lore are all about the power of friendship and love. So there's going to be some deep lore. We're going to get kind of deep in on this stuff. I honestly don't remember what I'm supposed to be doing and actually playing. Okay. Apparently I never opened that up. All right, so where should we start? Now, we can go way back, right? The mobile games take us way back, but we're gonna bound that. We're gonna bracket off those mobile games. They are important to the overall lore of Kingdom Hearts, but I think they're gonna play more of a deep role in the next set of games, right? In the next saga. I think we're gonna see more of that in Kingdom Hearts 4. I think that's pretty much been confirmed at this point. So I'm gonna bracket that off just a little bit, right? Right, you do get into Xehanort's origins. Right, I keep saying Xehanort. Trust me, I'm going to get to that in just a second. Right, these games, these mobile games, get into Xehanort's origins and why he does the things he does. Right, what his motivations are, but they're not the most important part. Right? There's a lot more going on. So we're gonna put those games back, and we're gonna start our discussion of the lore with laying out some terms, right? I love to lay out terms. Terms, making sure we're all speaking about the same things, are really important. And if I start to miss something, chat, don't be afraid to jump on me, because y'all are kind of grading my work here, right? My 2-hour oral essay about Kingdom Hearts. I thought we already did the tournament. Maybe not. All right. So the first thing you need to know about are hearts. People, everyone, creatures, all sentient beings within the Kingdom Hearts universe are first and foremost composed of two things. Bodies, which are the physical shell that we all inhabit, and hearts. Right. Hearts are more or less taking up the role of souls. And hearts and bodies can be disaggregated from each other. Right? Now, you're probably wondering, what about souls in this? Well, souls don't really factor in, right? There's some like stuff around the side that the souls might actually be a third element to a person, but generally speaking, it's all about. Oh my god, did I not save after the thing? Right. Generally speaking, it's about bodies and it's about souls. Right. Bodies and souls will be right. They're the things that make up everything that exists. Now, where this is going to get important is that this can be, like I said, disaggregated. They can be taken apart from each other. Now, where this really matters is about this thing called a Kingdom Hearts. Kingdom Hearts, as far as I'm aware, as far as I've been able to figure out, is how you're able to manipulate these souls in these bodies. Right? And it becomes the goal, the need of someone called Xehanort to achieve Kingdom Hearts so that he can achieve that which he wants in this world. Ooh, I forgot how to struggle, apparently. Let's just keep him bullied. right? Now, beyond Kingdom Hearts, the things that matter, right, central to the plot of Kingdom Hearts are these items called Keyblades. Right? Our main characters throughout the course of this game are masters of these weapons, but more than weapons, they're tools called Keyblades. They have the power to destroy, but they also have the power to create, and they have the power to unlock worlds, travel between worlds, and right, they can end up doing all sorts of interesting stuff. So our main character in this Kingdom Hearts is Sora. We haven't seen Sora yet, right? Sora's not here. We are Roxas, and we're going to get into what Roxas is in just a bit. But Sora, as our main character, is from a place called Destiny Islands. Now, he is tied in deeply with some other characters. But just know that the Destiny Islands see Riku, Sora, and Kairi looking for a world of adventure, right? The Destiny Islands, they're a nice, peaceful locale. But they seek adventure, and then some weird stuff starts to happen. No. I apparently did not save after we fought last time. So, in Kingdom Hearts, right, we really need to start at the beginning of the Xehanort saga. Not at his origins, but at a crux point. Xehanort and his frenemy, Arrakis, which is square backwards, begin to test each other and will with each other as they're both coming up, learning how to wield the Keyblades. Now, they both become masters, Keyblade masters, who function kind of like Power Rangers, right? They are guardians of the multiverse, right? The ability to protect the world around them. And they have a duty to do this. Now, both of them go along this way. They become Keyblade masters. They begin training other people into how this works. But Master Xehanort, he's never fully content. He wants to continue to learn more about the darkness, which is essentially what happens to those that lose their hearts, right? It is possible to lose your heart in the world of Kingdom Hearts, right? Your heart can be removed from your body. Your body can die and your heart can live on. They can become disaggregated from each other. So a body without a heart is a heartless. And a heart without a body is called a nobody. Those are going to be your two main enemies throughout the course of Kingdom Hearts. The darkness end up emerging a little bit later. They're kind of a separate thing. But that's going to be your main struggle, is against the nobodies and the heartless. So the heartless are much more intelligent than the nobodies. The heartless are really the ones in the driver's seat. They end up being your big bosses. They end up being your, major bosses throughout the series. Thank you, Pear. Now, this is really where we start establishing our own separate Kingdom Hearts lore, but many of the Disney villains that we come across kind of also end up as heartless. Other way around. Oh, I mixed those two up. Heartless and nobodies, mixed them up. Sorry, mixed that up. Got those back. I'm going to lose, aren't I? I'm going to end up losing this. So heartless are the ones without hearts, and are the big one, the big boys. The nobodies are the nobodies, right? They're the normal enemies. Keep them bullied. Keeping them bullied in the corner. Oh, shit. Gotta win struggling. Sorry, let me win this fight real quick. So I got those backwards. All right, so the nobodies are the big like enemies that we end up fighting, but the heartless are kind of the jabronis. Oh my god, how did I get that mixed up? That doesn't make any sense. Anyway. Xehanort wants to understand how these nobodies and these heartless function. Speaking of nobodies, this is a nobody. And that's a Keyblade. These guys just want to dance. They just want to dance. And as we fight them with our Keyblade, we gain levels, as you can see. So, in this world, right, Xehanort wants to go and discover more about darkness, more about the heartless and the nobodies, because he desires more knowledge, and along with more knowledge comes more power. So to do this, he begins to recruit assistants to figure out, hey, that's a heartless. No, yeah, heartless. They're heartless. And that's Axel. A lot of people don't like him. I don't think he's that bad. There's history behind these guys. Right. Arrakis, right, is training up 3 new masters. Terra, Ventus, and Aqua. They're looking to become new Keyblade Masters, and they go through a trial that Master Xehanort helps to judge. Now, Xehanort begins to discover and recruit new helpers, and he creates something called Organization 13, composed of 13 Heartless. And which Roxas becomes number 13, but that's real complicated. That gets real complicated real fast. We'll get to it. Now we have to have a boss fight real quick. I'm going to keep him bullied in the corner here. But he's going to hit me with fire. So Roxas' thing is he fights with these fiery blades. He's kind of cool. He's like exceedingly bleeding edge cool. But he doesn't have a heart. Right? He's not able to feel emotions. Or is he? Right? That's going to get in there. This guy looked like the bad guy in the first Kingdom Hearts game. We'll come back to him. So Xehanort and Arrakis test Vin, Terra, and Aqua. And they become 3 new masters. Right? 3 new Keyblade masters. They go on adventures. They end up having to save the world. Multiple worlds. Birth by Sleep's a great game. In my opinion, it's the best Kingdom Hearts game. Let's read all this backstory. All right. Sammy doesn't like Axel. Now, what we learn from Birth by Sleep is that things are not going well for Xehanort and his plans. He's setting them up, but they're not working out quite the way they want. Now, this takes place about 10 years before the first Kingdom Hearts game. During that time, at the end of Kingdom Hearts Birth by Sleep, Aqua gets thrown into a dark universe, right? Where she struggles and fights in this timeless realm for her very existence. And she's lost. Ventus ends up locked away. And Terra ends up taken over by Xehanort. And that's a whole damn process, but we'll get to that along the line. So fast forward 10 years. We see the split, the emergence of Sora, Riku, and Kairi, our three main protagonists, along with Donald and Goofy. Donald is worthless. Goofy is the best dad of all time. You need to know that. Well, during Kingdom Hearts 1, as previously stated, Kairi, Riku, and Sora end up disaggregated, kicked away from their world. Right? Destiny Island gets overrun with Heartless. Right? As they're overrun with Heartless, their world essentially gets ripped apart. And Sora finds himself lost away from his friends in a world called Traverse Town. Now, Traverse Town is kind of the place where all the people whose worlds that have been destroyed, spoiler, by Xehanort, end up. And this is really the first big mashup of Disney and Final Fantasy with the new Kingdom Hearts on top of it. All right, I need bragging rights. This is going to reset my bragging rights. All right. So what we have right here is Roxas, and he's not even going to come in for a while. But if you'll notice, Roxas takes the letters of Sora and adds an X to him and shifts them around. That's going to be important later on. Are we bullying Setzer? We are bullying Setzer. Can I get flawless victory? Almost have flawless victory. Bragging rights for another year. We can reset our bragging rights. Exclamation point brag. So throughout the story of Kingdom Hearts 1, Sora travels around looking for his friends. Now, Kairi ends up in a bad position and Riku ends up under the dark tutelage of Xehanort. I'm not going to go into the whole Yin-Sid and all that stuff. He ends up under the dark tutelage of Xehanort, who wants to release the darkness within Riku. But Riku never goes full dark. But he also embraces the dark. It gets weird. I just wasn't struggling. I am the champion of struggling. Exclamation point brag, chat. Exclamation point brag. April 2nd. We can reset that. So, once Sora is in Traverse Town, he meets up with Goofy and Donald. Now, Goofy and Donald work for King Mickey. Mickey Mouse is the king, and he's also a Keyblade master, and that's going to be important. Now, King Mickey goes missing. Right? He disappears. He is no longer in the picture. So Goofy and Donald go in search of him. Now, the reason why Mickey goes missing is because he is attempting to find Aqua, who disappeared at the end of the last game, at the end of Birth by Sleep. Right? Now, once that happens, once Goofy and Donald and Sora all meet up, they realize that they need to go and travel the universe in search, the multiverse, because we're calling it a multiverse. Then you go travel the multiverse in search of all of their missing friends. Aqua is the hottest character, and it's not even close. So, once they're traveling the universe, they travel to a wide variety of Disney worlds, right? So they go to Alice in Wonderland, they go to, they call it Atlantica, but it's Little Mermaid. They go to Hercules, they go to all sorts of different things. Cinderella, you name it, they go there. Tarzan sucks. Now, once they're there, once they travel through these worlds, they acquire upgrades to the Keyblade, right? Sora learns all sorts of new powers. Donald reveals himself to be a worthless wizard. Goofy reveals himself to be the best dad and a protector and really good at fighting. So they go, they do this. Along the way, they encounter Riku. They encounter Maleficent Pete. Maleficent Pete keeps showing up. They're worthless. Don't worry about them. They're just working for Xehanort. They're jabronis. Don't worry about them. Eventually, they get to a place, right? Sora and the homies get to a place where they encounter the Beast and Belle and Maleficent, and they have a big showdown. Right? And at the end of this showdown, the bad guy shows up. Xehanort, but he doesn't reveal that he's Xehanort at this point in time, shows up. And he actually turns Sora into a Heartless. Right? Gets rid of his body. All he has left is his heart. No, nobody. It's very confusing, right? That's the part that I keep getting wrong. So he gets disembodied. He turns into one of the jabroni bad guys we've been fighting. But the power of love of Kairi, who they finally find again, brings him back. Puts him back in his body. And they learn that, right? They learn that love and friendship can restore people. Can put hearts back in bodies. It's a whole damn thing that kind of changes the game and sets us off down the line for the rest of the games. Now, once that's done, once we have all those big fights, Sora ends up confronting Xehanort, right, once he gets back in his body, confronts him, beats him. Right, Xehanort goes off to lick his wounds, if you will. Goes back to Organization 13. Think of Organization 13 like Xehanort's goon squad. He's got scientists, he's got enforcers, right? It's their job to go and like collect all of these hearts so that they can build Kingdom Hearts, right? They want to collect as many hearts as possible to make Kingdom Hearts, killing planets to get the hearts from the planets all across the way, right? Y'all with me so far? Are we good so far? Alright, we got some of that weird lore stuff going on. We'll get back to that in a bit. So at the end of Kingdom Hearts, They end up opening the door to darkness to try to push Xehanort in. Riku ends up behind it. Aqua's there. They see that Mickey's there. The door gets shut. So Riku, Mickey, Aqua, they're all in the world of darkness. Things aren't going great. But from this moment on, Sora knows that they're all there and he wants to get them back. So Sora sets off with Donald and Goofy to do a wide variety of things. Now, up there, you just saw a guy who called himself Ansem. It's Xehanort. It's Xehanort. Don't worry about it. It's like a young version of Xehanort. Ansem is Xehanort. That's all you need to know. We're trying to get to like the core of this stuff. So what you're seeing now is Organization 13 in their super secret hideaway castle. And they're all, meeting, having things. They're the bad guys. Right? Kind of. It's going to end up being weird. So at the end of Kingdom Hearts 1, Sora moves forward with Donald and Goofy in an attempt to find Mickey. But at the same time, also get Kairi back. So they walk down the road and they find what's called Castle Oblivion. This is where Organization 13 hangs out, right? This is where these homies are hanging out. This is a world where memories can be wiped away, and you play Chain of Memories, right? So in Chain of Memories, you actually learn a lot of backstory about what's going on in these organizations. You play as both Sora and Riku, as Riku is learning to accept his darkness, get pulled out. It's a thing. So Chain of Memories happens. It's a thing. It's a game. I don't particularly care for the combat in it, but the story is top notch. Once Chain of Memories is done, Sora realizes that, he's able to fight and get back his memories. And along the way, he meets a girl. Now, this girl is a reflection of Kairi, but also a reflection of Sora. This girl's name is Naminé. And Naminé is able to help restore Sora's memories. He puts Sora into a stasis to regain his memories for 358 days. These 358 days are important because they lead to the next story, which also leads into this story. In the 358 days, when Sora was split, you ended up with a new being. That being is Roxas. And Roxas gets recruited into Organization 13, becomes a fighter for Organization 13, and he ends up training and becoming friends with both Axel and Naminé. Naminé is also in this Organization 13 thing, but she wants to split off. No, it's not Naminé. Well, he also becomes friends with Naminé, but there's another one who's essentially Kairi's nobody. So Roxas, this guy up here, ends up living essentially a year as part of Organization 13, making friends with Axel, revealing that Axel can get his heart and his feelings back. But they wipe Roxas's memory. And he gets kicked out, into Twilight Town, which is where we are in this game right now. And he becomes friends with Hayner and all these guys for 6 days, but he doesn't remember Axel. Now, one of the important motifs is that they get together and they eat this sea salt ice cream, which they're doing right now. Now, at the end of 358 over 7 days, we see that Organization 13 is on a little bit of a fracture, and that leads us straight into Kingdom Hearts 2. Now, when Kingdom Hearts 2 started, it doesn't start with Sora. Sora is still in his, stasis pod thing. Sora, instead, is replaced with Roxas, and we're like, is this some, Metal Gear Solid 2 stuff going on here? Well, no, it wasn't. Roxas ends up existing not as an own independent character, he will actually end up being subsumed back into Sora for now. Now, funny thing, this Sora guy, he looks this Roxas guy looks exactly like Sora. And Sora looks exactly like one of the bad guys from Birth by Sleep. They're the same person that ends up being split, which is especially awkward. Now, as we go along, we're about to go to the train station and see what is going to happen. Now, eventually, Roxas and Sora get reunited, and Sora gets his memories back, and goes on another series of adventures, attempting to get into the darkness of Riku, bring Riku back, bring Mickey back, bring it all back. He eventually will succeed in doing this, but the question becomes, at what cost? Now, Xehanort reemerges stronger than ever, and Organization 13 shows up as super powerful and problematic over the course of the next several games. Now, I'm going to pull up a list of games, and we're going to go through with the lores, but are y'all with me so far? We've established that the world exists, that Xehanort's trying to achieve this thing called Kingdom Hearts so he can gain all the knowledge, all the power. Sora is essentially, he gets a Keyblade and he wants to become a master. He's got to learn things. He's got to go become powerful himself. Alright, so once we get through Kingdom Hearts 2, we kind of do the same thing again. We go through a series of Disney worlds, we fight a whole bunch of nobodies and a whole bunch of Heartless, and generally we're facing off against Organization 13. Organization 13 ends up in an interesting position, kind of ends up fractured at the end of this here game of Kingdom Hearts 2. And we go off on a wide variety of interesting not side games. The first important not a side game after Kingdom Hearts 2 is Kingdom Hearts Recoded. Now this game, it's not great. If you could just do a cutscenes % of it, I would highly recommend doing that. That's how I handled it. What this one is essentially, whatever your most sci-fi of the Kingdom Hearts, of the Disney years that you've got, is what you should put on. So, oh yeah, Jiminy Cricket's always around. He's always keeping notes. That's just a thing you got to remember. All right. So, in Recoded, yeah, those will work. Right, in Recoded, Sora and Riku begin to train to become masters. Right, themselves. Now, in doing this, what they do is they go into what's called data. So they put themselves in a computer. Tron shows up, right? There's a whole like Tron thing going here. They go into data and they try to get back Jiminy Cricket's messages to try to figure out what all's been going on, right? They're trying to piece together the overall picture and see if they can't find Mickey. All right? Now, the question of whether or not they can find Mickey ends up getting answered, right? They go along the way. This is when the side games take a jump back in time. This is when we get Roxas's story with Axel in the 358 over 2 days. 358 over, 2 days. And then we get Birth by Sleep, which is all of the big, deep lore about Aqua, Terra, Vin, Arrakis, and Xehanort. That's when we really find out where the history comes in. Now, after Recoded, right, after they get out of the data, we then go into a dream world, right? Sora and Riku go on their quest to take their Mark of Mastery exam to become Keyblade Masters. They go in, they take this, and generally they go into dreams. Xehanort goes in and starts screwing with their dreams. You kind of have to bounce back and forth between being Sora and being Riku. Also, you get kind of Pokemon pets. The gameplay isn't really all that important, but Dream Drop Distance, they basically succeed in becoming masters, but they also kind of get level 1'd in an attempt to save Riku and Mickey and all these people. So, Kingdom Hearts Dream Drop Distance, they're done. Right? This resets the game. So this leads us into Kingdom Hearts 3. And this is where, like, the lore explodes, right? This is where everything is going to come to a head. So we're going to spend most of our time focusing on Kingdom Hearts 3. But if y'all with me so far, right? Xehanort attempts to create Kingdom Hearts. Sora with Mickey and Riku and Kairi foil him. Now, turns out there's a prophecy, right? You can't just create Kingdom Hearts by killing a whole bunch of Heartless. Xehanort learns this, right? By collecting all of these hearts, putting them together, he actually made we find out he made a fake, a synthetic Kingdom Hearts at the end of Kingdom Hearts 2. And really Kingdom Hearts 1, right? All a failure. It wasn't what he really did. So what he actually wants to do is put together a Royal Rumble. Turns out the way to actually unleash Kingdom Hearts is through the creation of something called, and I am not kidding here, it's a Kai Blade, right? Either an X or CHI, but they call it a Keyblade. So everyone's running around, they've got all these weapons, they're all Keyblade masters now. But what really matters is the creation of a Keyblade, a Kai Blade. This is kind of a fusion weapon, and it is the ultimate power of a Keyblade. It is the only thing that can unlock Kingdom Hearts, right? The ultimate realm of power and glory and knowledge and all of that. The thing that Xehanort wants. Now, to do that, to actually get a Keyblade and to actually open Kingdom Hearts, which we haven't been able to do so far, you accomplish this by having 7 lights, right? Wielders of light fight 13 wielders of darkness. Hello, my wife. We're in the middle of our Kingdom Hearts explanation. I basically am. Yes. Hey, kitty cat. Your wife one. Right. So we're trying to create a Keyblade, right? A Kai Blade. I'm just going to call it a Kai Blade to make it easier. It's a Greek letter. I know that's not how they pronounce it in the game, but just to keep our a Keyblade and a Kai Blade, just to keep ourselves straight. Right, can we work with that? Huh? Yeah, 15 people. Right. So, all right, we got the Keyblade. Right. We're trying to create the Kai Blade. Now, Xehanort has discovered that he has the ability to put part of his own heart and take over other people. So he's able to make copies of himself. So the thing to really remember is that now that we can know that people can be copied, Xehanort's trying to make 13 of themselves. But there's also like 7 different versions of Sora. Okay? It's a little bit unhinged, right? But basically, we're trying to get 7 lights to fight 13 darknesses. Because that's how we're going, right? Xehanort wins. But the only way to also stop Xehanort is for these 7 lights to confront the 13 darknesses. All right? There's not really a win or lose condition here. They just have to do this. So throughout the course of Kingdom Hearts 3, you are in control of Sora, right? Riku is off hanging out with Axel, trying to get strong. Kairi's trying to go and train up. They're trying to get Aqua back, but once they get Aqua back, they're also attempting to resurrect Ven and Terra to get their full complement. So they attempt to bring them all back. So someone's off on a mission to get Aqua back. Aqua's trying to free herself. They get Aqua back. They realize that Castle Oblivion is the exact same place where Master Arrakis taught Ven, Terra, and Aqua and they put Vin up in Castle Oblivion to heal after his battle. Terra got Xehanorted. He got Norded. He ended up being one of the bad guys that we come across many times throughout the series, but we're going to bring him back to the light. Riku brought to the light. Axel brought to the light. So we've got several people that know how to wield darkness but are considered light because they're on the right hand side, the correct side of the light. All right? So this conflict plays out really at the end of the game, right? Most of the game of Kingdom Hearts 3 is you running around trying to re-power up Sora. And you're going through all these different Disney worlds. You go through Toy Story World, which is dope. You go through Frozen World, which is more or less legally distinct Frozen World. Because Disney wanted Frozen included, but they didn't want them to actually tell any of the plot because it would come out kind of early. So there was that. Let's go in here and investigate what looks iffy. So once you've got this leveling up happen, all the way at the end, right? Like the last third of the game is really they just start dumping lore on you, plot dumped on you, like nobody's business. So we've made a whole lot of friends with Final Fantasy people, with Disney people along the way. But ultimately, it comes down to getting our 7 homies back and powered up. So we get our 7 light Keyblade Masters. They show up. They end up going to war at a place called the Graveyard of the Keyblades. This is where a battle was fought a long time ago. Actually, in the previous mobile games, a major battle was fought. Thousands of Keyblade Masters were murdered. Everyone died. This was an attempt to create Kingdom Hearts. And Xehanort was a part of it. Because Xehanort's actually been around for a real long time. He's able to create past versions of himself. Put himself into other versions. And together, Xehanort, in his Organization 13, actually takes over most of Organization 13. So that he can get his 13 darknesses, right? 7 good guys, 13 bad guys, cat in the bag. They meet up at the Graveyard of the Keyblades, the Keyblade Graveyard. And this is where it goes down. You end up having a massive rumble where you attempt to defeat the darknesses. But as you're defeating the darknesses, that's actually causing the thing Xehanort wanted to happen. Xehanort, yeah, he's right. We took the mobile games and we're like, we're just gonna shove them away right now because they're actually gonna matter more for Kingdom Hearts 4. We're just doing the Xehanort saga of Kingdom Hearts 3. So he has Xehanort reincarnated mobile character. It's a thing. All right. Oop, nobody's. Rolling around at the speed of sound. Oh, we lost our skateboard there. Because this game is from the era of video games where you have to have a skateboard or else you're not cool. You'll flip. So, the final battle happens. There is a fight between the lights and the darknesses. We've been trying. The worlds have no, they have not done. So they don't do a Goofy movie, right? Because Goofy is a knight, and he is in our party. We're gonna get to that sooner rather than later, maybe. We can figure out the puzzle if I remember how to do the puzzles in this level. So unfortunately, no Goofy movie music, even though it's the best music. But Goofy's still the best. So in this giant battle, right, there's like millions of Heartless. And then ultimately, Donald does the one powerful thing he does throughout the course of the game, proving that he's not entirely worthless. He casts the most powerful spell of any Final Fantasy game ever, killing all sorts of bad guys, but he kills himself doing it. So rip Donald. He gets brought back later, don't worry about it. His death ends up meaning nothing. Why is there a dog in that bag? The battle happens. And ultimately, this creates the Kai Blade. And Xehanort uses the Kai Blade to enter into his big realm. Once the Keyblade graveyard is over and there is a Keyblade war, they move. Oh, sorry, Zeta Flare is universal. Sorry, it's the Zeta Flare. Right. Basically, everybody dies. But Sora is able to, through his strength of will and the power of friendship, reconstitute the fragments of his own being and travel to, is it Clockwork Town? Basically, whatever Twilight World Town is, but in the past. He's able to travel there, which is where Xehanort truly is. It's on the other side of Kingdom Hearts. And there is a massive showdown with the last of the Xehanorts and Sora. Yeah, there's basically an Avengers Endgame, big old battle, and conflict emerges. Sora puts himself together, wins, and generally speaking, we set up the world. But here's the thing, when Sora wins, he has disappeared, right? Everyone else is fine, but Sora's gone. But we wake up as Sora after we roll credits. And we are in a world that looks like ours. Scala ad Kylum. Yeah, that's the one. Before it was destroyed as Daybreak Town. There we go. Yeah, that's the name of it. Scala ad Kylum. It's basically the big school town. And yeah. So Sora is missing and they want to go after him. And they want to find out what happened to him. They don't actually believe that he's gone. They don't believe he's dead. Because he's not. He wakes up in our own world. Now, uh-oh. It's another reflection of Roxas. Roxas is beginning to recognize that he's like, not exactly himself. He's Dark Roxas. I must have this on super easy. Bait not the attacks. There we go. So, right, they get removed, right? Sora's gone. He's off in the middle of nowhere. He's in our world. Or something that looks an awful lot like our world, but he also fights someone from the Toy Story world. Do crit. No, this one's not crit. Sammy said we should just continue our previous playthrough. And I forgot what I had that set on. Right, when I beat Setzer. So after Kingdom Hearts 3, our focus shifts to Kairi. Right, Kairi ends up becoming, working on becoming a Keyblade Master in her own right. 2, 3 of them. right? And she trains in the memory of Sora, and it's basically just like a rhythm game with no real new plot added in. So that was about an hour to explain Kingdom Hearts. I could have gone deeper into each individual game, but realistically speaking, like, there's not that much you need to know. So at the core of Kingdom Hearts is this oof. Oof. Alright, we gotta get back there. Got it. Yeah. So at the core of Kingdom Hearts is a struggle for one man to gain ultimate knowledge, and then overcoming that with the power of friendship. Turns out that folly of gaining ultimate knowledge leads to a very dark path. It had the potential to destroy the entire universe. But ultimately, the power of friendship is able to pull things together. Did I leave any big stuff out? Right? I didn't want to go too deep into the plot of every game. But I wanted the big character arc. So Xehanort, who's a reincarnation of his previous of a previous player character from a mobile game. I mean, it's doable. It's doable to explain the whole thing, but I can't do it in 2 hours. Turns out I can explain the core of Kingdom Hearts in 1 hour, though. Did y'all follow me? Are there any questions? Right, now is the time when y'all should pepper me with questions and see what I know and what I don't know. Although I apparently do not know the difference between heartless and nobodies. I know that one has a heart and one doesn't have a heart. One's a heart without a body, the other's a body without a heart. Alright, we're looking for the ghost train. The Sunset Hill Ghost Train. See how good my knowledge of Kingdom Hearts lore actually is. I don't think this is the right way to go. Can I go this way? Can't go through that way. Well, no. It's not about clearing things up. It's about making sure I know stuff. So this is more like, right, that was my oral defense. That was like the thesis statement of my oral defense. That it is ultimately a struggle between light and dark. And a struggle about friendship versus mankind's hubris. One man's hubris, if you will. So now it's my point to defend that. So thank you for coming to my TED Talk. Let's switch to this scene. All right. While we do it. Is this Sunset Hill? Axel was with Riku, but it was Mickey and Kairi who were with Axel. Okay, yeah, screwed that up. Well, Mickey and Riku are like homies, right? Because they got stuck in the dark world together. So they became like super badass homies while trying to help Aqua get out. But they both... Right, Aqua ends up staying behind and they feel guilty, so they want to get her out as well. All right, where is Sunset Hill? I don't remember. Also, I'm not playing the Kingdom Hearts music because apparently most of it's copyrighted. in case you're wondering. Here's Sunset Hill. The train is empty. Those are some Kingdom Hearts ears, Katie. Those are some Kingdom Hearts ears. Those would be appropriate. Gotta get to the beach. I didn't mention the time travel in Dream of Disney Xehanort's Heartless, traveling the past, meeting young Sora. Yeah, I said there was some time bullshit that went on. I feel like that went under that umbrella, right? Xehanort pulling his own self from the past to pull him into the future so that he could have 13 versions of himself to fight. Cesar's kind of a dick. No, legit, can we just be friends? I'll cooperate with nothing. It's the Ghost Train, but it's actually like Mickey's and the Yinsids. Yeah, right. So it sounds incoherent, but if you actually work your way through it, it actually makes sense, right? It's one of those things that's like inscrutable from the outside, but when you're on the inside of it, like once you've seen it, it's really not that hard, right? I feel like I was able to distill down the actual important parts in about an hour. I've seen kind of a deeper dive done in about 3 hours. I'm looking to get hurt. Oh, train's gone. Oh, there's the... Alright, so most of the Final Fantasy gets concentrated in one of the worlds that you go and visit. Everything else is Disney, but there's one Final Fantasy world that I think is also Twilight Town later on. Well, Daybreak Town turns into Clockwork Town, turns into Twilight Town, turns into the Garden, which is eventually important. All right, this is Data time. Hey, Big Bozo! Greetings, my most excellent friends. Welcome in. You came in during Kingdom Hearts explanation hour. So if you have any questions about Kingdom Hearts, pepper them at me. Hope you're doing all right, Big Bozo. Let's give Big Bozo a shout out, y'all. Follow Big Bozo. They're great. Love Big Bozo. Alright, we're going to the Haunted Mansion. Yeah, we are absolutely doing a 24-hour stream. We are on hour 6, so we're officially at a stream of girth. Hope you're doing alright, Bozo. How was stream? What were you playing? More multiverses? I will be playing the Kingdom Hearts game sound, but I know for a fact that Twilight Town's music is a problem for copyright. More multiverses. Are you enjoying that? It looks fun. Right? It looks fun. But I'm not a super big fan. Twilight Town is just Twilight Town. Radiant Garden becomes Hollow Bastion. and becomes Radiant Garden again. That, okay. All right. So I had that mixed up. Twilight Town is its own, that's the usual spot. Kicking ass is Shaggy. I'm not gonna lie, man, you definitely give off plays as Shaggy vibes. Which isn't a bad thing. You just give those vibes off. Alright, that's the Sandlot. I mean, Shaggy is inherently the best. Tram Common. How do I get... Can I pull up a map? I have been doing this without equips. Alright. Let's equip some other stuff. I mean, the Shaggy vibes. There's nothing wrong with some Shaggy vibes. I'm gonna pull up a menu. We're gonna be radical real quick though. But yeah, Kingdom Hearts. Surprisingly good and really deep game series. But deep in a good way. But it's also very learnable. The games are actually fun to play, and the lore, y'all, the lore. Love the lore. The stoned homeless look. Yeah, I can't pull that off. It doesn't look right. It doesn't look good when you're yeah, deep in a good way. Like they actually established their own lore. Like they established their own lore that is separate from Disney, separate from Final Fantasy. I know this is like my hot take, but I think Kingdom Hearts could work now without the Disney stuff. I think it's at the core of it, but I don't know if it actually needs the Disney stuff anymore. I think it's almost established itself as its own thing. Okay. So that's Station Heights. Tramway Commons. I mean, yeah, the Disney is good. The Disney in it is good, and it's fun to play in the Disney worlds. But I don't think the Disney stuff is necessary anymore. Will you do that, Lurk Big Bozo? We got about another 40 minutes of this, and then we're gonna start playing Fall Guys. So if you're interested in playing Fall Guys, make sure you download it. We're gonna have our own Fall Guys. Let me run the poll one last time. This will be the final poll for the final game. While we're messing around. Oh no, I mean you have to have the Disney. I do think that you kind of have to have the Disney just to make it right, but you don't need it to make it work, if that makes sense. Regina, and all right, there we go. Yes, you can buy more votes. And the votes have been carrying over. So we currently have, the votes have been carrying over, and we currently have 10 votes for Tiny Tina, 6 votes for Dark Souls 1. Oh my god, Haru with the resub. The big resub. It's going great, Haru. I think I just successfully explained all of Kingdom Hearts in like an hour and 10 minutes. And I know I got a couple of terms a little bit wrong, but I think I got the core of the game right. 6 for Dark Souls. And 7 for Just Cause. Yeah. So your votes can matter. It's not exactly anyone's game, but between Tiny Tina, Dark Souls, and Just Cause, it could work for any of those. So get your votes in. We'll see. All right, and we'll see what we end up playing at 7 in the morning. But I'm kind of giving my plea for why Kingdom Hearts is good now, right? So the games just mechanically play well, right? They are, you say play 12 minutes. So we've got like a handful of games that are on the list. So the games mechanically play well. They are lore fests. You get to play with a lot of childhood nostalgia stuff in the Disney worlds. Aw. I forgot that knocks me off. The combat is surprisingly simple, but also surprisingly deep. It has a lot of different settings that you could use, so anyone can play these games. You don't have to be a try-hard gamer, but you also can try hard these games. If you have any sort of nostalgia or love for Disney, I highly recommend giving them a play. Well, yeah, right. They're not all great. A lot of them are good. Big hair on a little boy with angsty leather clothes, even though they live on an island. I mean, that's fair. Of course, at the moment, I'm currently lost in Twilight Town, not remembering where I need to go to get to the spooky mansion. Like, I think I have to go into the sewers, but I don't remember how to get to them. Yeah, Recoded's not very good. We cutscenes presented that. Chain of Memories has a steep learning curve. And there's basically one way to succeed in the game. Birth by Sleep is the best of them all. Best plot, best gameplay, best gimmicks. That I don't know. I do not know why they're all remake. So, oh yeah, right. So they remade everything for kind of these collections. They're either remakes or like remixes of the games. So here. So like you can see it's remade. There's 6 of them here on Kingdom Hearts 1.5 and 2.5 remix. Where do I go from here? The hole in the tram common wall leads to the haunted mansion. Okay. 1 caffeine so far, but I'm about due for a re-up. We're 6.5 hours. I mean, I'll go 6.5 hours fairly regularly. Like 6 hours is kind of normal. Alright, there's a hole in the wall. But beyond 6 hours, right? When it hits 8 p.m., it's going to be rough. Yeah. Well, and that's when I'm gonna start playing Stray. So it'll be all right. I'm gonna try to play the entirety of Stray tonight. Whole thing, one sitting. So we're gonna play Skid Cats. I have 2 monies. We're gonna try to jam through the cat game tonight. And then we'll play some more Catherine full body. It's not gonna be a speed run. It's about a 5-hour game. So it's like, I can do that in one sitting. Yeah, Final Fantasy X was bad. I'm gonna have to, like, if I'm gonna jump back in, it's probably gonna be with 7 Remake. There's a roll. There it is. 10 just didn't do it for me. Maybe 8 and 8 or 9 would be all right. We could try 12. Hey, advancing the plot. They're 13. I don't know. What is your favorite Final Fantasy game? Because for me, so far, it's Kingdom Hearts. They are grand JRPGs, right? Every single one's different. Every Kingdom Hearts game is different. Every Final Fantasy game is different. They all have different settings. There's only a couple of things that are kind of in common between them, but they're all telling some sort of grand JRPG story. So 7's about eco-terrorists saving the world. 10 is bad. 15's about going on a road trip with your best bros to save your kingdom and fulfill your own destiny. I don't know what 12's about. Like 1, 2, and 3 are all just go save the king, get the MacGuffins. Hey, here's Nominee that we were talking about earlier. She has all these memories, especially of Kairi, because she's like Kairi and Sora's heart baby. Kingdom Hearts does have Goofy and Donald in it, yeah. Now Roxas is beginning to remember. Yeah, you do love Remake. Yeah, I'm not playing with game audio on purpose because most of the music gets me in like mild trouble. It gets me into kind of mild trouble. Although we're probably good right now.
And I had to take apart the memories chained together.
As long as the music's not on.
But now, I'm putting them all back exactly the way they were. It's taken me a long time.
There's also a lot of cutscenes.
Sora will be his old self again. The process has.
Speaking of oof Disney, how are contract negotiations going?
You mean the dreams?
Yes. You and Sora are connected. And in order for Sora to become completely whole again,
you have to remerge.
He needs you.
Still waiting to hear back.
Me? What for?
You hold half of what he is.
Get your audio jungle soundboard ready.
He needs you, Roxas.
Nominee? Nominee.
Alright, Dark Souls.
Who are
got
you?
5 more votes.
I'm a witch, with power over Sora's memories and those around him.
A witch?
That's what Diz called me.
Tiny Tina's got 1.
But I don't know why I have this power. I just do.
Oh my god, we have a tie.
I'm not even sure there's a right way for me to use it.
I can't help you there.
Alright, in the next hour, we're gonna have a single head-to-head vote.
Suddenly, I feel like I don't know myself at all.
We'll have a head-to-head vote. Because we're tied with
would like to know.
Tiny Tina and Dark Souls.
What do you know?
Tied at 11.
Me? that I don't.
You... you were never supposed to exist, Roxas.
Doing all right. Definitely not
What?
Yuki. We're doing all right.
How could you even
I believe
say
that I
such a-
successfully explained the plot
Even if
of
it were true.
and the lore, not the plot. We went with
I'm
the
sorry.
lore
I
of
guess
Kingdom
some
Hearts in
really are better
just
left
over an hour.
unsaid.
And now we're just kind of chilling out. How are you doing, not Yuki?
Roxas.
That's it, Yuki. She's your
Roxas.
nobody, or
Huh?
it's your nobody.
Did you see
They're
her?
your nobody.
Yeah.
I don't know who it
Watch
is.
the window. Closely.
It's Nominee.
Ah, lame.
Oh, Boom Boy, that is.
That's
I
just
just
the
saw
curtains
the.
moving. There must be a draft somewhere. I'm surprised this old place even has curtains.
Yeah.
That's pretty great.
Well, let's head back to the usual spot. Hayner and Olette are waiting.
Hey guys, how'd it go?
The girl in the window turned out to be a curtain flapping in the wind.
I figured as much. The report's already done.
Let me show y'all something real quick.
So, wanna go find Hayner? He's probably at the station.
So Boom Boy just dropped
We
this in
only have 2 more
Discord.
days together.
This is pretty great, actually.
Summer vacation, remember?
Oh.
All right, they're still on summer vacation. Peep this. Dark Souls 3. Love it. Love it. I think that might be my first piece of fan art. I think that's my first piece of fan art. Boom. Welcome back, Mama G. Welcome back, Mom. Mama G back in the chat.
Tomorrow, we search the town.
Next day's the fair.
The last day of summer.
Don't
It's the
say
last
that.
day of summer.
Give me an
Today's the last day of summer. Oh my god, it's so
Not if you
appropriate.
explode from all that ice cream first.
Boom, you made my first piece of fan art. I'm honored. I think that's the first piece of Doc fan art.
Why did you show him the train?
Because he missed the trip to the beach.
That's almost kind of you.
No. What about you? Are the holes in your memory starting to fill
Oh, Angry Papa.
Yes.
Angry Papa.
The haze is clearing.
in? The same thing is happening to everyone who had ties
Everyone
to Sora.
beginning to remember. As Sora
Very
continues to
soon,
remember.
to them, he'd be like a good friend who's gone away for a year.
I've waited, and now I want to know. What is it that you want?
Revenge.
Revenge.
Now
Can
for
we
the
do?
finishing
Can we see a speed run of
touches.
Lingering Will?
First, we must
Enemy Kingdom
dispose of
Hearts wanted to
Namine.
show it to me a
She
year
did
ago.
a splendid job with Sora.
I
It's high time
don't-
she disappeared.
No,
Roxas
how
isn't
to
the
do
only
that.
one who was never meant to exist.
I don't know
Take care
how
of
to
it,
do
Ansem.
that. Oh, bye-bye.
Restoration at 97%.
What, you think you're gonna get food?
Gorge is
Gore! Oh, we have our first Disney character.
heartless.
Those worlds will be restored if we beat Ansem, right? But
They're giving
if
you
we do
the
beat him,
information
and all these
from
worlds become restored and disconnected,
from
what's gonna happen to this
Chain of
place
Memories.
and to us?
All worlds begin in darkness,
In darkness.
and all so end. The heart is no different. You see, darkness is the heart's true essence.
That's not true. The heart may be weak, and
Holy
sometimes
Haley Joel
it may
Osment.
even give in.
I
But I've
forgot that he
learned
was Sora's voice.
Deep down, there's a light that never goes out.
Kingdom Hearts! Fill me with the power of
But it never could fill him with the power of darkness because that wasn't the real Kingdom Hearts. It was the fake Kingdom
I
Hearts.
know now, without a doubt, Kingdom Hearts is light.
Now, Sora, let's close this door for good.
Oh, that is not diet. Holy shit.
Yeah. When you're expecting a Diet Coke, did you get a real Coke?
Take care of her.
Oh. Full on real code.
So, yes. Riku and Mickey stay on one side to close the door.
Kairi!
Sora's on the other side to close the door. Kairi ends up
Sora!
on the same side as Sora, but then they end up separated.
Kyrie!
There's a
Remember
lot
what
that
you
goes
said
on, but
before?
like I do think that this
I'm
series has
always
a
with you
lot of
too.
redeeming value.
I'll come back to you. I promise. I know you
It really
will.
comes down to the power of friendship and the hubris of man in the accumulation of knowledge. Not an argument against knowledge, but attempting to wield it in dark ways.
Now what do we do?
We've got to find Riku and King Mickey.
But, where do we start looking for that there door to the light?
No, she could not.
Gorge,
I did never
that's
understand
what
why
you
Pluto
say.
just showed up here.
Hey,
That one didn't make
have
sense.
you seen King Mickey? Let's go.
Too. Yeah, there's like magic involved. It was you that argued for me to play these games. You and Haru were the ones that like goaded me into it. In the first place. There's Castle Oblivion.
I've been to see him. He looks a lot like you.
No, Blake and Sammy didn't show up till after Kingdom Hearts started. This must be Riku. Alright, there's Riku. This must be Roxas? No, this is a vision of the future. I can't remember what that plot beat is. I mean, this was even pre Yuki.
Why do you have the Keyblade?
Shut up!
Leave him alone.
Roxas is trying to remember. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was Per that suggested this after Breath of the Wild. Unless it was people who weren't even here anymore. It's a long cutscene, y'all.
Man, I could not sleep last night.
And I don't know how I ended up playing Kingdom Hearts.
Huh?
At this point, we don't even know. It just happened. I don't remember. At this point, it was so long ago, I don't even remember. I guess we could go check the tape. I'm pretty sure we have videos of that one.
Look at what it's come to. I've been given these icky orders to destroy you if you refuse to come back with me.
We're best friends, right?
Best friends.
Sure, but I'm not getting turned into a dusk for... Wait a sec. You remember now?
Yeah.
Great! But, you know, gotta make sure and all, so,
Fight me, bro?
what's our boss's name?
Xehanort.
Oh, can't believe this.
Oh, no. Time to fight! Defeat all the strange enemies. Smash them! Oh, they just want to dance. I don't remember these. You really tried to like the series to appeal to boys, but you still hate it. I mean, fair. I don't know why liking this series would make you appeal to boys, because this series is certainly something. Like, I'm pro Kingdom Hearts, but it's definitely something. If I were trying to attract the opposite sex, Kingdom Hearts would not be the thing that I would be into to do it.
The time has come.
Hayner! Pence! Olette!
Time has halted. Lunchtime doubly so. I guess maybe it's your era. That would be about your era of time.
Is long gone. Fine. I see how it is.
It's nostalgia. Yeah. You see, this one's slightly after my time, so it's not nostalgic. It's like me and Pokemon. Like, Pokemon is just not nostalgic for me. So I kind of take it on its own measures. And for me, it's not bad. It's just not like my thing. But it's almost time for some Fall Guys. We'll be switching to Fall Guys in about 20 minutes. So if you want to join us, please do. I'll set up a room and everything. Might do some custom lobbies. There's still time to download it. If you want, it's free to play. You haven't played Fall Guys yet? Oh, come on. It's the ultimate casual game. Like, everyone can play Fall Guys. It's like MXC, but a video game. Oh no. Otherwise, we're in trouble. We're in trouble! I actually had to use a health. You don't have to buy it, it's free to play. It is a free to play, free to download video game. It's on every platform. We're in trouble. I'm in trouble. Fos, ro, da. It used to cost money, but it went free to play fairly recently. It used to be like 20 bucks, but now it's free. I mean, you can play it on Switch. It's on every platform except for like. It's on Steam. It's on. You might not be able to get it on Steam now. I originally got it on Steam, but I think you can only get it on Epic now. It's on. It's on Switch. It's on Xbox. It's on PlayStation. Not me trying to use Dark Soul controls. I mean, it's just free on Xbox, so yeah. But on PC, you have to get it on Epic, I think. I think I had some sort of giant key.
Don't call me and then lock me out.
What's up, Blair? Because I just want to dance. Welcome back, Blair. Hope you enjoyed your nap. So a bunch of wiggly boys with a lot of tracksuits. Hey, it's Riku! They're just a bunch of wiggly boys, okay? Dance magic dance, more or less. Oh, I can see enemy HP now because I've got scan on. This person can swim through the ground. That's weird. Yeah. Get him. So, on balance, did I succeed in my quest to explain Kingdom Hearts? As much as could be explained. I actually went faster than I thought because I didn't want to go into lore as deep as I could have. No, I went into the lore, I didn't go into the plot. Katie says no. I mean, fair. Well, then what are the questions that you have? Statue is staring at the floor. Drawn in 2 circles, you can continue the drawing if you only have the right clue. I'm looking for Mickey Mouse. Who's the leader of the club was made for you and me. M-A-C-K-Y-M-A-U-S-E. He's the king. The master of masters. We don't know that yet. We don't really know that yet? But I believe it's Zigbar. Or whatever his real name is. Guess it's Dimix.
Your mind's made up?
Why did the Keyblade choose me?
Because you're cool.
I have
you're a
to
good
know.
friend.
You can't turn on the organization.
The organization turned on you. I know. I got my first of the like stones this morning.
They're a bad group.
I'm about 20 hours
or
in.
good? I don't know. They're a group of incomplete people who wish to be whole. To that end, they're desperately searching for something.
What?
So I'd say we're a little over
Kingdom
halfway.
Hearts. Funny?
It's just... I
Everybody
think
wants this damn Kingdom Hearts.
I've been running away from the question I really want to ask. What's gonna happen to me now? Just tell me that. Nothing else really matters anymore.
You are...
Nominate!
Yes, I beat the Glittering Grotto today. I still have Volunteers and Ghost Ship.
There's no knowledge that has the power to
Sora's
change your
not
fate.
the villain.
Even if it doesn't, I want to know. I have the right to know.
A nobody doesn't have a right to know. Nor does it even have the right
Everybody's
to be.
Xehanort. Everybody else is
What is
Sora.
a nobody?
What is a nobody?
Diz, we're out of time. Too many nobodies.
Nominate!
Roxas, nobodies like us are only half
Only
a person.
half a person. They're only half a person.
You won't disappear. You'll be whole.
I'll disappear?
No further.
So the nobodies don't have
No,
hearts.
you won't
And the
disappear.
heartless
You'll-
don't have
Wait.
bodies. So it should be the other way around, right? But it is that
Roxas,
nobodies don't have
we
a
will
heart
meet
and
again.
heartless don't have a body.
And then we can talk about everything. I may not know it's you, and you may not know it's me. But we will meet again. Someday soon.
And remember
I
to thank
promise.
Nominate. First item on
Let
the
him
list.
go! Nominate!
Yeah, if they combine, they become a whole person. That's how you become a person. Thank you, Blair. I think that a nobody and a heartless are separate persons.
Yeah!
But then when you unite them, right, when they're... No, it's a separate person. So like Sora's one thing and Roxas is another, but they're actually the nobody and heartless of Ventus. But then they get their own hearts. Yeah, I mean, it's really not... Right, they do get up their butt a little bit too much with the lore. Because Vanitas is a heartless of Roxas, so he is a Sora. So he is the same as Sora, but he's not Sora. Oh god. I thought I was good to go, and then we weren't anymore. I recursed, and now I'm confused again. I thought it was fine, but now I'm confused again. And I think Roxas is just in a computer program here. If memory serves me. Yeah, right, you can boil it down to something really simple, but then, like, if you zoom in just a little bit, it gets super complicated. But here's our Organization 13. It's basically Star Wars. Glad you had a good night. Right on time for us to do some
Why do you have the Keyblade?
Shut up!
Shut up, man. You're not my real dad.
Will it work?
Cat's nap real hard.
If we can maintain the simulated town until Namine finishes chaining together Sora's memories.
You have to rebuild the
What
chain
will happen to Roxas?
of the memories.
He holds half
Get
of
it, chain
Sora's
memories.
power within him. In the end, he'll have to give it back.
They must remerge.
Until then, he'll need another personality to throw off his pursuers.
Poor thing.
It's the fate of a nobody.
Oh, send him into data. Turn him into a computer program. Because it's like a light nap. Cats don't really heavily sleep. They just like surface nap. And that's what a cat nap would be. Because you don't ever really get truly asleep. Angry Roxas smash. Angry Roxas smash. As soon as this cutscene's over, we're gonna take a short break, get some hydration, use the restroom. Then we're gonna Fall Guys.